So I was thinking about thankfulness, and I was thinking about how it's good to be thankful. I was thinking about like blessings and how you go through life and you're given a body and you're given food and air to breathe and a world to live in and wonderful sights and sounds and smells. And you can a lot of people can see like the trees and the grass and the sky and the beauty of nature and sunsets, and sometimes if you're up early enough you can see dawn and when the sun rises, and um, wherever you are there's probably things in life that you can see and experience to appreciate. There's a wide variety of foods that humanity can eat, lots and lots of different kinds of foods, lots of different flavors. You can even pick and choose. I like this flavor, I don't like that flavor. A lot of people can do this. Some people aren't in the position to do it, but there are a lot of things. And then of course there's relationships that can be good, and your parents can be loving to you, and you can have friends, and so there's a lot of things in life that you can be thankful for, and there's a wide variety of interests and things to discuss and figure out. So I know there is all of that, and I know that I live in a country that is has been very, very blessed comparatively to some other countries that are not as blessed. And I did not choose to be born into this country, and same with other people that are born into countries that are not as blessed, and they may have very difficulties. However wealthy or non-wealthy you are, a lot of people don't aren't born into whatever wealth their family has or doesn't have, and they did not choose that. You're not born with like how your personality develops. You don't. It's not something you really pick and choose and go. I wonder what personality I'd like to have. I think I'm going to review them and pick the personality that I'm going to have, and that's going to be me. Most people don't really do that. So there are all these things to be thankful for, but then I think about it and I think, okay, but human beings are made with certain needs, certain wants and desires, and there are things that people have to go through, the difficulties in life, suffering, hardship, confusion, um, conflict. Yeah, some people like conflict and they thrive on that, and some people don't. Um, but sometimes the conflict can be so much that whether someone enjoys it or not, it's too much. It's too much. So there's these things that when I look at life and look at experience, there's times that it's easy to be thankful for things, and then there's times that really it's not. And I look at things and I see how things can be kind of weighed, wade. Can't. I don't know if you can. Wade. Anyways, um, so there can be an amount of good things, but if the bad things outweigh the good things, then it can really be hard to be thankful for the good things. And in a way, to me, it doesn't really even make sense to be thankful for the good things. Okay, for instance, if someone is being thankful to the creator for whatever, and their end destination is eternal torment, does it make sense for them to be thankful? I'm thankful for this great sandwich, even though I'm going to be eternally tormented when I die. Do they have a really justifiable reason to be thankful? I don't think so. Um, so, oh, I'm hearing noises and it's interrupting my train of thought. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So if the negative things, the bad things outweigh the good things, then should you really be thankful? Does it even make sense to be thankful? So I think when I think about this, I think about that the Creator loves us. Now, it all comes back to the Creator as far as I can tell. Everything goes back to Him. Everything. But if He really loves us, what does that mean? Is He going to, if He loves you, is He going to, say, eternally torment someone that He loves? Would that be a loving thing to do? If you have children and you look at your child and go, I love you so much, I'm going to make sure that you're eternally tormented. Or I'm just going to let you be eternally tormented. However you want to look at it. I mean, is that like a loving thing to do? I don't think so. But then, if you look at it and you say, okay, there's not going to be eternal torment, um, from my understanding, when I read Scripture, well, not just from my understanding, what I see in Scripture, Scripture blatantly says that Yah, the Creator, the self-existent one, the only one who can exist independent of anyone and anything else, says that He's going to redeem everyone. Everyone is going to have to go through fire, and everyone is going to get redeemed. And that fire doesn't mean literal fire. It's like, can be trials and adversities and difficulties and suffering. But it's all like this growth process. So everyone is going to get redeemed. But then I think, okay, I did not ask to be born. I did not request being born. I did not ask to be who I am. I did not ask to be in this world. I did not ask to be in this life. I did not ask to be sinful. I did not ask for difficulties and suffering. I didn't ask for these things. Well, later I asked for some of them, but initially I did not ask for these things. So, and if I were given the choice, you can have all these good things, but if you do, you're going to have all this suffering. I'm not sure, I don't think I would have chosen that. If the choices would have been, you can have all this good stuff, but it's going to have to be with suffering, or you can reject all of it altogether. Heck, you can even choose whether or not you're going to exist, whether you're going to be born. I'm not so sure I would have taken the options of have all of the good stuff and all of the suffering with it. I'm not so sure. So the suffering and the bad here and now, why be thankful for that? Why is that something to be thankful for? Why is that a good thing? Yay, suffering. Yay, hardship. Yay, confusion. Yay, pain. Yay, misery. Some people get tortured. Yay, torture. I mean, really? But then I think about how there's a verse that proclaims a truth which I'm convinced of based upon the Creator and who He is. And the verse is, everything works for the good of those that love Elohim and are called according to His purpose. Now, that's a select group of people who He's calling to His purpose right now, because it says in Scripture that He's calling a small select few to Himself now. And the vast majority of people are not being called to Him now. They're not being given His truths. They're not having that kind of relationship with Him. So it doesn't apply to the vast majority of people. But it will, because He's going to redeem everyone. So, everyone is called to His purpose, whether they're called to have relationship in that way with Him now, or they're called later. Everyone will be called. And based upon who the Creator is, and that He is love and all good, He could not do anything less than work out everything for the good of His children, the people that He has created, which is humanity, every single one. So, ultimately, that verse must apply to every single person, that everything works for the good of those who love Him, because they will love Him and are called according to His purpose. So even if it doesn't seem like it's working for their good now, it must be, based upon who the Creator is. So the hardship and suffering and all the bad in this life is actually working out for your good, even if it doesn't look like it, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't seem like it, even if it's not that way from your own experience. You can't detect that it is that way. It must be. It has to be. Based upon who the Creator is, based upon the necessity, because the Creator is more necessary than the reality we live in. And since he's more necessary, um, there's no way around it. And it is necessary that the Creator have the characteristics and qualities that he does, which include love and goodness. Love is like the core of who the Creator is, I believe. So love dictates that everything must be working out for the good of everyone, even if it doesn't look like it. All the confusion, all the pain, all the hardship, all the suffering, all the difficulty, all the bad, all the misery, everything it has to be working out for our good. There is absolutely no way around it. It has to. I mean, that to me, that's a big statement, because there's so many things just in life and in this world. And, some of the things that we go through, I mean, like, I haven't had to go through some of the horrors that other people have had to throughout history, especially. But, I mean, I see this life as difficult enough, even though I live in a very blessed country, and I have it a lot better than a lot of people have it, which just is almost incomprehensible to me, because I hate that people have it worse than I do. I hate that. I hate that. But I do believe he's working it out for our benefit, because, of course, even though we live in the limited here and now, with limited insight and a limited view of the past and a limited view of the future, and actually a limited view of the present, since there's so many things that go on in this world and this universe that are beyond what any of us can know or experience, and really understand or comprehend and take in everything. But if, as far as going into the past or the future, I mean, the future is just a big unknown. Um, for the most part, I mean, there might be little bits and pieces of the future that we can either grasp to some degree or speculate on, and think that this is the way it's going to be, but it is just an unknown. And then the past, the further back in the past you go, the more it becomes nebulous. And I mean, there's things that historians can ascertain things, but even there, it's a matter of faith and belief in what actually happened, because maybe it was slightly different than what they think. Maybe records aren't what they think they were. I mean, there's all sorts of scenarios that make it so that the past is largely unknown, and the further back in the past you go, the more it's just a nebulous unknown. But my point with that is just that we live in the realm of faith and necessity. We live in the realm of trust. We have to trust the Creator, that there is actually goodness behind everything. And I think it's warranted trust. It's trust that's backed up by who the Creator is, the necessity of the Creator, and who He is. So I think it's incredibly warranted trust, but it's highly contrasted with what we experience, but it's still highly warranted, and still based upon who the Creator is. It's a necessity, it's an absolute, that everything must be working out for the benefit of all. It has to be. There's just no way around it. So in that, I can be thankful. So even when I hear horrible things happening, and know that people are going through atrocious things and heartrending things, things that tear me apart, even though I'm not having to go through it at all, and I can't even imagine having to go through it. Terrible, terrible things. But I know that ultimately it's working out for our good, based upon the necessities of the Creator and who He is, and how reality must work because the Creator is who He is. There's no way around it. It has to work for the benefit of all, even when it doesn't look like it. And sometimes it really, really doesn't look like it. But it has to be that way. So, and because the Creator is who He is, redemption will come to all, and all will be made right, and all will be made good. Every single person. Take the worst person you want. They will be redeemed. They will be made good. Just like every one of us. So in that, I can be thankful. Even when I feel like I don't have it in me left to be thankful. Like, my thankfulness has been all played out, and I'm just so done. And I feel like if I do give thanks, it's just hollow words without meaning. Because I can't make myself mean it when I just don't have it in me. But beyond all of that, beyond all of my thanklessness and inability to give thanks, I can be thankful in these truths that the Creator is by necessity, and the Creator is who He is by necessity. He has to be. He has to be good. He has to be loving. He has to be kind. It's absolutely impossible for Him not to be. Even with all the things we see and experience in our world, those are all secondary, really. All of that experience is secondary compared to the reality of the Creator. And since He is who He is, love and goodness reign supreme. Love and goodness will prevail. Love, goodness, and truth will prevail. There is absolutely no way around it. Everyone will get redeemed. Every single person. There is hope. Hope reigns supreme. And when I say hope, I don't just mean I hope it happens, but it might not. I mean hope as in the Hebrew concept of the word that gets translated into hope, which is it's an assured expectation. You are assured of something happening and you're expecting it, because it's like when you take your next breath, for most people anyways, they would be really surprised if there was not air for them to breathe. That's the kind of hope I'm talking about. It's an assured expectation. So that's why I can be thankful, even my thanklessness. Yes. Yes. Because it's not just me. Because everyone's going to get redeemed. There's meaning and purpose in absolutely everything, whether or not we can see it. And all will be made right. So there's meaning and purpose behind everything. I know this is true. I know it's unavoidable. However things look, however it feels, it's unavoidable. It has to be that way. It's assured. So, thankful and thanklessness. Because however low things go, the heights that we will be raised to blows it out of the water. It will happen. And I mean, it is slightly paradoxical because we live in a here and now, like I was discussing earlier, of not knowing past or future, to a large degree past and entirely future, almost entirely. So we have to dwell in the here and now, and the here and now has way too much suffering, pain, misery, bad. But the future will be more real than our present reality. And it will be completely fully good, and everyone will be redeemed. And I think that's the Creator's real message. It's a message of encouragement. It's a message to strengthen us, to give us the hope of that assured expectation. to know that love prevails. Ultimately, love prevails over everyone and everything. Love prevails. Love, goodness, and truth. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've gotten something out of this. My little rambling. Hopefully you're having a very good night, evening, morning, afternoon, breakfast, dinner, lunch, whenever you watch this. Shalom, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, adios, slan, arrivederci, sabaidi, ni hao. Bye.